The illegitimate Polish National Prosecutor's Office is once again making its presence known. This time, the target of Donald Tusk's services has become Antoni Macierewicz. Diplomatic treason. It was under this pretext that the illegal National Prosecutor's Office targeted Antoni Macierewicz. The National Prosecutor's Office has received a notice from the chairman of the commission to investigate Russian and Belarusian influences, Brigadier General Jarosław Strużyk, on suspicion of committing the crime of diplomatic treason by former Defense Minister Antoni Macierewicz. This is about the so-called Karkonosze program, which was supposed to allow Poland to refuel planes in flight. The problem was that in order for Polish F-16s to take advantage of this, they would have to fly to the Netherlands, which was completely unprofitable. That's why Minister Macierewicz abandoned the program. It's worth remembering that we were supposed to pay a huge amount of money and benefit to the smallest extent from this system. Therefore, this did not give us a guarantee of security, which had to be guaranteed at that time as soon as possible, to the greatest extent possible. Minister Macierewicz preferred that the Polish state purchase, among other things, the American Patriot system, which is proving so successful today in Ukraine. Since, according to Donald Tusk's services, the abandonment of the unprofitable Karkonosze program is a decrease in state security. What was it under previous civic platform governments then, to liquidate units in eastern Poland or sabotage the construction of the U.S. missile shield, which, according to Prime Minister Tusk, did not strengthen Poland's security? Installation without the additional elements we are talking about, so modernization, but also other types of cooperation, and such political security guarantees, in our opinion, do not increase this security. It is symbolic that Adam Bodnar's prosecutor's office wants to prosecute Antoni Macierewicz at the request of the head of the government commission to investigate Russian influence, General Jarosław Strużyk. He is a former officer of the Military Information Services, an entity infiltrated by the Russians. In addition, many questions remain about his ties to Siedlce University, which has collaborated with Putin's universities. One such classic method used by Russia is to try to discredit their greatest opponents and enemies by using their agents and inverting, as it were, the character of these figures. That is, for example, an opponent who is very dangerous to Russia is portrayed by their collaborators, by their agents, as supposedly their man. Antoni Macierewicz has been investigating the causes of the Smolensk tragedy for years. This, in the state of Donald Tusk, is an intolerable sin, since the Prime Minister himself said that the investigation must be conducted in such a way that no one sees Russian responsibility. The real source of unrest in Poland is whether the Russians did it. These are the most dangerous speculations, because expectations are generally naive, and the most tangible, though not always rational expectations, are full transparency and the full conclusion of the investigation. The key moment after the Smolensk tragedy was the handing over of the entire investigation into Russian hands, which was downright a gift to Putinist propaganda. From April 10th, Donald Tusk, from the first moment after this attack, all along acted in favor of Putin by hiding the truth about what actually happened. Antoni Macierewicz devoted practically his entire life to fighting Moscow imperialism, whether the communist or the Putin version, imprisoned by communists, harassed by supposed Democrats. This is not about the meaning of the allegations here. It's about the office of political theater, the vilification of Antoni Macierewicz, a man who has undoubted merits in the fight against communism, a man who spent many years in prison. The fact that Antoni Macierewicz's services want to hold him accountable for abandoning an unprofitable venture proves that they have nothing on him. However, if in the framework of the fighting democracy, justice has to give way to political revenge, the former defense minister could be jailed for up to 10 years.